Welcome to the San Diego Hookers and Slicers detailed instruction video on setting up golf tournaments and doing the email reminders for the EMs. First thing you do is you go to www.golfgenius.com and you sign in. Click on the right side. I already have my password set up, so I'll just sign in. If you don't have a password, you need to do that. I need to get to the tournament. I go over to the left side, or this box is all current, and I switch it to all, and I click on San Diego Hookers and Slicers. The training league is set up for those EMs who are practicing before they get to the real thing. If on the last visit league it says San Diego Hookers and Slicers, you can click there and they both take you to the same spot, this one and this one, either one. It'll take you to the actual tournament. Now we got to find the tournament. We click on calendar, we click on display calendar, and we're doing the San Vicente. Now we're on the tournament. The other way you can get to that tournament, a little more, is you click on tabular view, then you go over here and you click on open June 13th. You can see the other way is a little bit faster. Okay, so now we're to the tournament we want. We have 25 players who have signed up. That includes one guest. So the first thing we're going to do is we're on Wednesday. After the tournament, we need to start sending out our email reminders. So to do that, we have to create a PDF and then email. So what we're going to do is go over to the right side to the report center. And all of our reports are in this field called This League. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an alphabetical list of the players who are playing on that Wednesday. And we're going to configure it to make sure it's set up right. We want to be portrait, extra large print, on the number of check boxes, 1, and number of columns, 1. We save and print this. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this to our desktop or laptop, whatever you're using to send out your emails. And this is now creating that PDF for us. And as soon as it's done, it'll quit circulating. We're going to click on Down PDF. And there's the PDF. And we want to save that so we can email it. So I'm going to save it to a file. I right click and save. I'm going to call that Hookers and Slicers Wednesday. And save it in my file, which I've already pulled up. I create a file on my desktop that keeps those things. Now I've created the PDF. I'm going to X out of that up at the top. And I'm back to the programming, and I'm going to go back to get to where I can click on rounds. Now I get back to the programming. I click on rounds. And now what I want to do is I want to email that PDF on Wednesday to everybody. So I'm going to go over to the left side here where it says send email. I click on that. And the first group of players I'm going to send it to is the players who were invited are not playing. And you see across the top, there's the different ones: confirmed, guests, waited players, invited players, and players not attending. If I click on invited players, that's the group I'm going to send. Players not attending are members of the club who already said they can't play. So I'm going to send this email to the invited players. I click on invited players. I click on check all. Then I go over here to the action box, and I'm not going to mark as attending. I'm going to send an email to them. So I scroll down and find an email to send to them. You can unclick this managers if you want. There's no need to do that. If you don't, there's no big deal. So now I go down and I find the subject box, and I'm going to change that from announcements to players list, so they know what they're getting. Now I have to attach that list, so I'm going to choose the file, and I'm going to choose it from my laptop, and here it is, Wednesday. Now the file is attached. So you just go to your laptop or your desktop, you choose the file, and open it up, and it'll go down there and do that. Okay, Then there's a field here which is not showing right now because I have it closed up. But there will be a box right here that says send invitation. And to do that, I have to go to rounds. You don't have to do this. I accidentally had closed these up. So that's why it didn't work. Okay, so now I'm back to where I want to send the rounds. So I'm going to go to rounds, start that over. Click on send email. Click on invited players. Click on check all. Click on send email. Get rid of the managers. Go down and change the announcements to list, players list. Now I'm going to attach it, so I'm going to choose the file. Click choose file. You find that file, open it up, and it adds it in. Okay, now the file is attached. Now, under round invitation, I want to include an invitation to these people because they haven't played. You don't send any T-sheets. And then I'll type a message into them, something simple as attached is list of players for San Vicente. If you would, I'm not worried about spelling, would like to play, please follow instructions below. Then you would sign it, put your phone number and your email, and when you click on send, you scroll down, you see this is where everybody it's going to. When I click on send now, it's going to go out to these people who have not signed up yet, and there'll be a link for them to sign up if they so choose. So now that I send that out, it'll take me back to rounds. I want to send the second email, and I'm going to send it to players not attending. Because sometimes players not attending, we're going to check all, check send email in the action box, and then change this down to list again. Choose our file, just like we did before, and then include an invitation. And this would be something like, sorry, you are not able to play, but if circumstances have changed and you would like to play, please follow instructions below. And then you sign it with your email and your phone number again, and you hit, make sure they're all checked, you hit send right there. Now that same message is going to just the ones that already said they couldn't sign up, and occasionally somebody says that and then realizes they can play, and they'll come back and they'll sign up. And the last email is to those who are already playing, which is a very simple thing. You go back, send email again, it pops up there. They're already checked. If you go down the bottom, you see they're already checked because that's what popped up originally. It already says send email. So all you got to do now is just go down, choose the file, and write a thing. Attaches the list. You're already playing. If for some reason you can't play, please cancel by calling me or going back to your original email and click not playing. And then they'll get that same thing. After you write that in there, you click send. So all those things are pretty much the same. It's just who you're sending it to, and the message varies just a little bit depending on the group you're sending it to. Now, it's that was on Wednesday. So now we have to look at on Monday. You send out your reminder emails on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So on Tuesday, you need to start doing your printouts. So you need to do printouts that take 2 to the golf course, and you also need to do all the stuff on Monday before you do the press on Tuesday. You need to call the golf course, give them a heads up about how many players are coming, and that you'll give them a final count tomorrow, etc. So now we're on Tuesday, so we go sign in and get 2 rounds and get to the right tournament, and we're going to go to the report center, and we have to create PDFs, and this is all done after everything is closed up. Once the signups are closed up, this is where we do our reports to take to the course on Wednesday. Go to this league just like we did before, and the first one we're going to print up is alphabetical list, and we'll do that, configure it. For some reason it always ends up in landscape. Portrait, extra large, 1 box, 1 box. The exact same thing you did when you were sending them out, only this time you're going to print it. So you would click save and print. And you should print 3 of these. That's 1 for the golf course in the pro shop, and 1 each for your 2 assistants who will be working. You click download, and you go up in your corner, however yours is, and click print, and you click 3 copies. And you have your printouts for that. I'm going to cancel that because I'm not going to use them. So now we assume I printed them. I go back to get to the program, click on rounds, click on report center, and the next thing I'm going to print out, we can do the cart signs. We'll just go right down the order that they're here. There's no big deal. So we print cart signs. You can do them any order you want. You got to make sure you're in the right tournament, or you'll be printing cart signs for the wrong tournament. And these print 2 on a sheet. You download it, and now they're there. They're printed up. For some reason it didn't print them. Let's go to rounds. Try that again. Report center. This league. Print. Let's see what happened. Oh, I have to figure out what's going on. Let's try printing the scorecards to see what's going on there. No configuration here, you just print the scorecards. Download the PDF. Okay. And there's what your scorecards look like. And then you just print them, and I'll print all the scorecards for you. And then you need to print the T sheet. We'll hit configure here. And code bias is correct, landscape is correct, large is correct, it's all right. Click save and print. Okay, and there's your T sheet. So you'll print up, probably print up 2 just to be, so you have them. This allows people to see who they're actually golfing with that day. This is the same T sheet you're also going to email in a few minutes, but you're going to print it up first to take to the golf course tomorrow. So we're going to back out of that. So we've done the tee sheets. Okay, so we did the cheat sheets, cart signs. We did the cart signs. I'm not sure why it didn't come up. I will double check that, but it'll print up, and you print those up, and there's 2 on a sheet. You'll have to cut them in half. I'm not sure why they didn't do it. So after you print the cart signs and the alphabet list and the scorecards, then you're going to, and you printed the tee sheet already, now you're just going to email the tee sheet. And you're going to email that to all the players. It's already checked all golfers, announcements, and then you can just simply, you need to check include tee sheet. If you don't do that, it'll be just a blank email they get. And then down here, you say attached is the list of players with their starting hole and teammates. I'm not going to worry about typing because I don't want this video to take that long. And once that's in there, you've clicked the tee sheet to add. It's all golfers. You click send, and it's gone. And that basically does all the work you need to do on Tuesday. So now the next step is you are coming in on Wednesday morning. So when you get there Wednesday morning, the first thing you do is you're going to, give the cart signs to the pro shop, give them their sign-in sheet, go into wherever you're going to set up, get your assistants there, give them the printouts they need to work with, give them the scorecards. You need to cut those scorecards and staple them together so that they have all that stuff. And then at some point, when that's all done, what you need to do is you need to log in, and now they're ready to start signing people in and collecting money. You need to go to the rounds, and now because if you're having a skins game, you need to be able to add the players to that skin game because it's an optional game. So we're going to click on rounds division, and if it says to go to the top to leave, you do it. Normally when you first sign in, it won't be there. It'll just take you right away. You got all golfers, which is our regular flights, and you got the skins, which is here. And the way we add people, we click on edit membership. And here's all the people who are signed up to play. And basically you just, when they pay and that you're told, you just add them until everybody who's going to do the skins does the skins. If you make a mistake, you just click on the X and it takes them out. So let's say that's how many are going to play. Well, let's get everybody playing. And we won't put the guest in. So after we get all our players who have paid the $2, and you click on save, now you've got all those people in. Now, if there is a problem and you have a no-show, we need to be able to get them out of the tournament. So we go to edit existing pairings. This is where all your stuff's going to happen. So if you have a no-show, let's say Larry didn't show. So you got to remove him. So what you do is click on remove players and click up there. That takes them out. Okay? And now what happens is you have to replace them with a blind. So you click on blinds, or the draw is the name, and you click a person that's next on the list, and you click on that person on the left side. That box opens up and you find them, and then you click the empty spot, and now there's a blind. And then after you do that, you click on save. So that's how you eliminate people and replace them with a blind. So the next thing is, let's say you got somebody that showed up and didn't even tell you. You got room for them, so you can put them in. So you got to get them into the system. So you go to rounds, you go to round player roster, and we find that player. And usually they'll either be under invited players or under players not attending. So let's say it was Tom Harwood, and we're going to mark as attending. Now we got him in there. Okay, so now we got to go down and we have to add him to a flight. And he may also want to play the skins game. If he wants to play the skins game, you go here and you add him to the skins game. Here we just add him. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cancel. Okay, so we have to get him into a flight though. So we're going to go to all golfers, manage flighted golfers, just like right here. And he is would be probably a middle flight. So we're going to click on him, the middle flight, edit membership. You'll find him there. And since we have that up there, as soon as we click on him, it'll go and add him to that flight. And then we go to the right side and save. Always look for a save button. Every time you make a change, you've got to save it. Okay, now we got him in flights. Now we got to get him into existing pairings. We got to get him into a team. Don't ever create new pairings. Never on a Wednesday do you do that. It'll mess up everything. It'll put people in different teams and everything else. Okay, so now we want to add a new player, which we have put in the system. So we're going to click on Add Player right here and go down the bottom, and I forgot who it was now. Tom Harwood. There, we click on his name, and we go up and say this is where he's going to play. And now he's in there. So now we're going to save pairings. So he's now the team, but the last step is we have to get him into the right tee. So we have to go to set tee time. Excuse me, no, that's wrong. We're going to go to set course. And we have to, the first thing that comes up is the courses in this box. They all get listed. You select the course we're playing that day. In this case, it was San Vicente. Default. Never select a San Vicente with a number or color on it. That will mess up all the scoring. So you always select default tees. So San Vicente default is the tee we're going to use. We're going to select all the players again because we want to make sure everybody is signed properly. And then we click on Go. And then we save pairings. Now, Tom, a new player, he's added to the proper flight, he's added to the proper team, and we've assigned him to the proper tee. And that's some of the things you might have to do on Wednesday morning. If there'll always be somebody there. I'm there a lot of times, most of the time. Jim Vaughn, Sarah, Larry Capitano, they all can help you with this, and there's other people that are learning that system. So that basically is what you do on Wednesday morning before the tournament. So when you come back in after the tournament's over, this is the simplest of all. You open it up, you click on your rounds. Well, click on calendar and pull up the right one. You click on calendar, display calendar, click on San Vicente, that's the round we're working on. And then you click, and now what we're going to do is we're going to enter scores. So you click on enter scores. And as the teams come in, you click on one of the members of the team, and that lets you enter scores. And they're entered in the same way. The way they are here are the way they're going to be on the scorecard. So Roger's team came in first because they were in the front. And you start entering. You see how the scroll came up right here? It's already marking. All you do is type in the numbers. You don't have to hit tab or nothing. Just 456, 456, 555, 784 for Roger. Okay, So I was going too fast and I put a 14 in there. If you have to go back and change, you might have to use the tab, but then it goes in. And then as you get done, you check the out and the in to make sure the totals are correct, and the cursor continues to go. As you go through, it just continues to go. As your person helping you out, it just flops down until you get all the scores in. And when you get all the scores in for a team, and they're correct, you click right here on Done. Okay, now it shows in green that all scores have been completed. You do this for all the teams, and once all of them are in, you click on Done Entering Scores. And when you do that, what happens is it is now calculating all the payouts and stuff. Now I did enter scores and everything here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to last week's scores that have been entered and show you how you then read out the scorecards and stuff and give out the winnings. Okay, so we're going to go, last week we're at Eastlake, so I'm just going to open that up. And so after all the scores are entered, you go back to rounds and you click on Display Leaderboard. And when you click on that, all the calculations have been done, and it's going to give you the results. So you can do them anything order you want. So here's the individual flight is on top. So here we go. So the first place winner was Jim Sherman, 41 Stapleford points, he gets $30. Jerry Vega, then Roger Clifton, 19 and 17 each. And these are tiebreakers. The 39-39 was the tiebreaker that Jerry won on. Then the same thing is good for flight B, and the same thing for this other flight. If somebody wants to see a score, which they never asked, you can click on this and you can actually see their score. So and you do the same thing to get back to this field. You just click on that same one again. This was the tournament we played, team tournament. So this is the results. Tiebreaker won first place last week. You read them out, the names and the amounts. When you're done, you click on the 666 again, or where that tournament is, and it goes back. And then the skins, you click on skins and it tells you how many skins. We never know how many skins we won until all the tournament's done. In this case, 5 people won a skin. And the skin is won by a single person who has the lowest score on any given hole. So sometimes there's a lot of ties, so you don't have a lot of skins. In this case, there was 5 skins. The total pot was $66. They each gets $13 a piece. The extra 20 cents, we don't want to mess around with change, so it just goes into the kitty for reserve fund. And it tells you where they got their skin at. A birdie on 17, an eagle on 18, etc. And you read those out, and that's it. The closest to pin, you don't have to do. That's something Roger does after the tournament's over with, just so we have a record. So that really completes everything. So you actually took you through everything. If you have questions, please give me a call. I'll be more than happy to help you out. It looks like this took about 28 minutes. I'm going to stop it now. And good luck in learning the EM.